Okay, here's just a quick video I wanted to make talking about something that I keep seeing and it really pisses me off. Like when an artist dies and then their label manager like keeps putting out music after they've died. Like let's go through a couple examples. So the Beatles are the worst that I've ever seen. So I'm on their Spotify page here. Like if we check out this album here that came out in 2018, 48 years after the Beatles broke up. It's supposed to be like the super deluxe version of their 1968 album, just called The Beatles, which is referred to as like the White Album. So this is like the White Album, like super deluxe version. We have the original album. It's a long album. It's got 30 songs. It's an hour and a half. It's a double album. It's the only double album that the Beatles ever made. So 30 songs, hour and a half. Okay. The new one, 107 songs, 5.5 hours. The original album has 2 discs. It's got 2 sides to it. This album has 6. Like, look at this. Not Guilty, take 102. Do we really need to hear the 102nd take of this song? Like, am I not getting the full Beatles experience if I haven't heard the 102nd take of this song? Like, come on. So, like, they have this song, Not Guilty. The Beatles sit down one day, they come up with a song called Not Guilty, and then they're working on it all day, and it takes them over 100 tries to get it right. They finally get it right the way they want it, and they're like, finally, we spent all this time recording the song, 102 takes it took us, and then they finally got the song the way they wanted. The one take that they got where they got it all right, the way they wanted it, they put that one on the album, and they ship it out. And then, 50 years later, the label managers decide they don't have enough money in their Scrooge McDuck vault, and they pay some asshole to scour through every archive, every recording they have of the Beatles, and they just find every single scrap of audio to put out. And they're like, yes, it's more Beatles stuff. The fans love the Beatles, don't they? Okay, here. Let's listen to I Will Take 29. Let's actually listen to this here.
1, 2, 3. If you want me to, I won't.
Yes, you will.
Okay. Why? Let's compare that to take 13.
Loved you forever and for.
I hardly think so.
Better know, gent.
They fucked up. They messed up in that recording. That's straight up where they just mess up. They miss a note or whatever. Like, oh my god. My god. They literally messed up the recording. And then the label managers are like, right. You know the one where they fuck up, right? Put that one on the album. That was a good one, right? Let's look at Michael Jackson for a minute. Yeah, the funny hee-hee man. He died in 2009, and there have been 3, technically 4, albums released since then. 2017. Come on! Like, what does a Michael Jackson fan think when they see this? Oh, Michael Jackson has a new album out. No, he fucking doesn't. His rotting corpse didn't put out another album. The scummy label managers did. The Michael Jackson albums are arguably worse than the Beatles ones. At least with the Beatles ones, it was like new audio. It was new material that hasn't been heard, alternate takes of songs and whatnot. With these Michael Jackson albums, it's the same songs that he's already released. Thriller. It's just his song Thriller. Like, there's no, like, Somebody's Watching Me. It's all just these same songs that have already been released. No changes, no differences. Just put out in a different order. Now, there is an argument to be made about, like, best of or, like, greatest hits albums. Those are fine to a degree, in my opinion. At least those are, like, obvious that it's like, okay, they're not trying to say, hey, look, it's a new Michael Jackson album or whatever. It's like, remember the best stuff from Michael Jackson? It's like, sure. But when they just make a new album, and it just has the same songs that have already been released. Like, why? Well, I know why. It's money. But, like, why? Who are they trying to fool? Okay, let's do some on-the-fly research here. Here's his album, Michael. It was released a year after he died. Okay, my camera just died, so I've switched to using a different camera now. What doesn't fall over? Is it slowly sliding? Oh my god, it's slowly sliding down. Look at that. I'm sinking very slowly. Anyway, on the fly research on Michael Jackson's album, Michael. It was released a year after he died. 2010, he died in 2009. I said that. It's comprised of previously unreleased tracks by Michael Jackson. So I would assume that they were unfinished tracks before he died, and then they finished. Yeah, okay, recently brought to completion. So there you go. What this is saying is that Mike didn't finish these songs, and then these fuckers were like, oh, let's just finish them. Because, you know, of course they know exactly how he wanted the songs to sound. I'm sure they did it exactly the way he wanted them. Would have wanted them. Prior to the album's release, a lawyer for Jackson's father, Joe, stated that Jackson was a perfectionist and would have never wanted his unfinished material to be released. Jackson collaborator will.i.am said it was disrespectful to release the material as Jackson would not approve of it. Wow. Oh, sorry. Was not able to approve of it. Wow. Thank you, will.i.am. You are speaking truth right now, sir. 8 out of the 10 tracks are credited to Michael. 8 out of 10. So some of these songs aren't even Michael Jackson's songs, is what they're saying. The first line in the first verse recites the lyrics, "This life don't last forever," and ends with "much too soon." Wow. That's really deep. Hey, did you guys know that Michael Jackson died? Ooh, look at those reviews. Those are nice and spicy. Oh, I bet Michael Jackson was sad to see that his new album was getting shitty review. Oh, wait. He didn't see it. He died. Hey, did you guys know that Michael Jackson died? Alright, the last album I want to talk about is Tim by Avicii. By Avicii. Avicii? Avicii. 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 I don't know. But by that person, under that person's name. Okay, let's also check out the Wikipedia article here. So I don't know a lot about Avicii, to be honest with you, but according to this article that I found, he had a bunch of songs finished that he had sent to his team, and then he died, and then his team finished the album with the blessing of his father. So Heaven was released as the third single for the blah 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 blah. The music video was called The Tribute Video, which used clips of Avicii in Madagascar. That's really sleazy. Like, did she use random clips of Avicii and just called it a music video? Like, and a music video for a song he didn't even finish. Like, oh my god. The song names, by the way, look at this. Like, Heaven, SOS, Never Leave Me, Fades Away. I don't know how many of these songs were named by Tim himself, but, like, come on. Hey, did you guys know that Avicii died? Heart Upon My Sleeve. That song already came out, like, 6 years ago. So they just decided to fucking slap Imagine Dragons on an already existing song, call it a new song, and then release it as a new song. So not only are they releasing unfinished songs, they're releasing already completed songs, changing them, and then releasing them again. You know what Avicii would have wanted? To take that song he put out 6 years ago, put Imagine Dragons on it, and then put it out again. Following Avicii's death in April 2018, a representative said the following month that there were no plans to release any new material in the immediate future. In April 2019, it was announced that collaborators were enlisted to help finish the work on the album. So they were like, no, we would never release his unfinished music. That would be disrespectful. That would be tasteless. And then a year later, they were like, not? It's just sitting there not making us money. So, like, why not put it out, you know? To be fair, To be absolutely fair, all the money from the album went to charity for mental health, so, like, that is good. However, in terms of releasing the music, is really fucked up. Oof, look at those reviews. I'm seeing a pattern here. I guess people don't like it very much when recording companies string up the corpses of their favorite artists and say, guys, look, there's new music. A team of writers and producers made an album described as containing elements of psychedelia, Arabian music, sounds of the Caribbean, and more. Oh yeah, when I think of Avicii, I think of Arabian music and sounds of the Caribbean and more. Like, they're doing the same thing with Tom Petty. They're doing the same thing with wife beater John Lennon. They did the same thing with Kurt Cobain. They did it with Biggie Smalls, Bob Marley. Did it with Jimi Hendrix. Did it with fucking Elvis, for fuck's sake. Like, all these people spent their lives, their careers, crafting music that they liked, and they put out the stuff that they were proud of, and they didn't put out the stuff that they weren't proud of. And then they died. And then the labels were like, ooh, let's put out all the crappy, shitty, unfinished songs that he didn't like and didn't want to put out. I hate this shit. It's straight up disrespectful, and fuck the recording industry. I'm of the opinion that if an artist didn't finish a song, then that's too fucking bad. They didn't want the song to go out because they didn't finish it. Why the hell? Like, we don't deserve to hear it. We don't have a right to hear their unfinished garbage. There probably has, but I don't know it. Like, where an artist says, put out everything I have after I die. Release everything I have. Put it out as a thing. In that case, yeah, fine, sure. Like, that's literally what they want. But, like, most of the time, I guarantee you, all of them either don't say anything or would rather not have their crappy, unfinished, or personal music not released to the public. And then the recording industry decides they don't have enough money and they just release it anyway because they don't really care about the artist. They care about the artist's money. Because you gotta have more of that green paper. Oh boy, that green paper. What are you gonna do without it? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. New ass video soon.